Welcome, Johnny.
Thanks.
Welcome to the Refurbed podcast. It's our second episode.
Yeah.
First one I did with Killian together, and it was super successful. People really liked it. They want to learn more about what we do at Refurbed and how we do it. And so we thought we'd do another episode and bring a new person in. And so welcome, Johnny. Maybe you want to say a few words about yourself?
Yeah, no, it's great to be here. The last one was excellent, so well done. So it's great to be on it. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer, so I lead all of the market expansion and as well as growth for the company.
Sounds very good. There is a reason why we have you here today, because we're going to talk about two amazing milestones that are really incredible. And last episode we talked about the founding story, how we started everything, and we had this moment when we sold 10 products in a weekend, and we thought we would be the kings. We made it. That's so fantastic. And now we actually hit two milestones that are slightly bigger. The first one is we hit 3 billion euros in GMV since founding the company, which is incredible. And the second one is, obviously it's not enough, we're going to do more. Hence, we're going to go to 12 new markets. And I'm going to talk about these two things with you today. Maybe first on the 3 billion. How does it, how do you make it? How do we get from, 0 to 3 billion? How do we get from, 1 billion to 2 to 3 billion? Especially we're accelerating, right? The last billion was in less than a year. So maybe you want to share a bit on that.
Well, yeah, 3 billion is just a huge milestone, right? And to do that in less than a year since 2 billion is absolutely incredible. But I think that's because we're at an inflection point. And that refurbished is really becoming mainstream, and we can feel it in our numbers. The consumers are choosing refurbished as a first choice. They're using it for the latest models, which we'll come on to, but we can really see them buying into the category. They recognize the high quality, the trust in it, and we can feel it in all of our core markets.
Yeah, absolutely. Core markets is a very good segue to the second part, which is new markets. We're going to do 12 new markets. Why so many? Why now? What's the rush?
I just think our mission is to really be that leading refurbished platform. And we're going into lots of markets that also don't have good options. So I think I'm really excited about that, about taking our mission to other countries where they want really good refurbished quality. And we see the demand there. So that's the first thing, which is we see high search intent, we see consumers wanting it, we see the price of tech being really, really high in those markets. So everything signals from our sort of data-led approach that we're going to be really successful with. So, and finally, we've got the momentum to do it. And the moment was right. I think the second is we've done this before. It's our playbook. We are so rigorous with the data to get in there, understand the market, understand the customer, so that when we enter every new market, we get faster and better and more efficient each time.
Yeah, I still remember the first market expansions we did, which was very, very different, a very different company. And it's absolutely amazing to see how we do it now, right? 12 markets, we have this playbook, we know exactly what we're doing. It's like a train that's just going forward. And now what's interesting also with the advent of AI, which is something that changed quite a bit to 2 years ago when we did the last expansion, then I think we are even faster by now and can make this all much better.
I mean, the answer is always AI, right? But honestly, we use it in every part of what we're doing, right? From research and intelligence, data analysis, through to translation, through to content. It's just a powerful tool that I think just makes us faster and more robust and can scale more quickly. So it's just a massive, massive advantage for us that everybody in every layer of the team is using it all the time.
And is AI as flawless as we might hope?
I mean, it's changing. Every day it changes, so every day it's getting better. I think it can't replace judgment. So I think that's what we try and instill in our teams is a high level of responsibility and decision making. But it just allows them to have a greater range of data points and analysis and a different view. But we've got smart teams that love to challenge everything. So.
Yeah, I know. I feel that, Great. Sounds good. So where do we go from here?
We know how to launch a market. What made now the right time to let us go on?
Yeah. So a couple of things, right? One is we've had the previous wave of launches more than 2 years ago. Now these markets are settled. They're performing really, really well. And now it's time to take the next step. All of this is really enabled by two things. One is that we reached profitability last year, right? This means we also have generated a lot of cash that we can now use. Plus, we did another fundraise at the end of last year, very successful, another 50 million euros, and want to put this 50 million euros to good use, and expansion for us is the first pillar in all of that.
Yeah, it's great. Also coming off of 40% year-on-year growth last year, it's just fantastic. So it's just it's a really solid foundation. We have the data, and there's nothing like real world getting into the market. So it's 12 new markets. I can't remember if we should go through all of them, but on the list, I always worry about leaving one out, but we've obviously got some bigger markets like Spain, France. We're going to test as well as the UK and Poland, which I'm very excited about. And then also we're pushing into Eastern Europe in terms of making refurbished devices available there. So Slovakia, Slovenia, Croatia, Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia, Bulgaria and Luxembourg all being tested. So it's a lot.
I didn't count, but I think these are the 12.
These are the 12. I think when we look at it, I think it's going to be something like the addressable market is like 486 million customers. So taking refurb to all of those people is just huge, right? So finally you can access it.
I think it's funny, right? If you look at the number, it's nearly 500 million consumers. And then everybody always talks about the US, right? The US is this huge market, it's so big, blah, 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 which, obviously is true. And obviously there's probably more purchasing power than in some of those markets. But from a consumer point of view, Europe and the EU is so large. And for us as a company, there's just so much potential that we have in Europe, that we also think that Europe is the best place to be for refurbished electronics, and especially the circular economy as a whole. We believe that Europe is really the place to be, and we want to be the biggest ones in Europe, and this is the next step for us.
Absolutely. I think European consumers, they just care about sustainability more. I think they're also just high users of tech. They're sadly also high generators of e-waste. So, really our proposition solves that simultaneously. So it's amazing. And just Europe for us, I think it has an added benefit for our sellers, giving them more demand and more volumes while staying within our core competency. So yeah, I think Europe is the place to just kind of grow really well, because I think the opportunity is there, and we see it every day, every time we launch a market.
And tying it back to the founding story again, which we had in the last episode, we talked about we want to get one refurbished device into every household, which is obviously very ambitious, and we're getting there, we're step by step. But this also means we want to get to more and more consumers. We just don't want to focus on one or two countries. We want to go across Europe, and then obviously eventually across the world. But this first step now is really to reach everyone in Europe and enable people to buy refurbished products, electronics, but also from all of the other categories. And that's maybe a good next topic, because we think it's so important to enable people. In those markets, there's just not a great other player there. And so we want to be the ones that really create this momentum in the market, as we've done in many of the markets right now. And maybe that's my next question to you. How do you think about sort of refurbished now versus many years ago? What changed in consumers' perspective?
I mean, it's huge in terms of what I think Refurbed has done in building that sort of quality trust like around a new category. But I think the next way for us is really about taking it to every part of your home and life, right? So I think you do come in on maybe a phone or a laptop, but fundamentally it's about that whole home and garden. Sports equipment, we just sell a lot of e-bikes and scooters, and then we also launched the kids category as well, right, which you have a personal sort of connection to.
And does that really work?
Absolutely. Like it's growing phenomenally fast at those new categories. I think it's really about, because we've built that proposition of like sort of trust and quality, that people will come to us for baby strollers, people will come to us for e-bikes. I think one of the things that also shifted was we saw last year the growth of the premium category. So really, before people maybe buying into the older models of the iPhones, premium is really our best quality, so the best battery health, and then that grew at something over, I think, 113% year on year. So just absolutely phenomenal. But you can see customers really trading off versus new. And that's a huge inflection point for us, which is like customers not buying into the older models, but really challenging whether they need a new iPhone or actually their purchase would be a refurbished iPhone.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's perfect because they save money, and obviously to reduce e-waste, it's better for the climate if they buy refurbished. And I think that is something that makes a lot of sense for a lot of people. And what I think is interesting is, if I look at my friend circle, but even in my family, the people realized that this makes so much sense more and more. Like my wife 2 days ago said, refurbed is so amazing because you now have a vacuum robot. And it was really cheap. It's the high-end model. We saved a lot of money, and that product would have, been destroyed otherwise.
Yeah.
And so it just makes so much sense for everyone involved. And this is what I love about the company, because we create something that really makes sense for us as a society, for the planet, for everyone, and for consumers. And now we do this across all of Europe. And that's very, very exciting.
It's really exciting. I mean, we've got momentum with brands like Dyson and Kerker, have got assortment with us, and they're really trying to come on that journey with us.
Yeah.
Because it's very new for them as well. And I think we're that perfect partner that can show them the volume and the demand, but also grow with them as sort of a key partner.
Yeah, makes sense. One number we've not mentioned yet, which I think is actually easier to understand than the 3 billion in GMV, is that this actually translates into 10 million products sold.
Yeah.
It's 10 million products sold, which is interesting, right? Because we started with the story about that we thought that 10 products selling on a weekend is great. Now we sold 10 million over that course of, not even, a bit more than 9 years now, which I think is absolutely crazy. And this obviously is great for consumers. And we already talked a bit about how this is also great for the climate, because 10 million products actually translate into more than 450,000 tons of CO2 saved. And this is a massive impact that, every small choice from a single consumer, buying refurbished and then not buying new, just makes a big difference. And through that, I think we can have, massive impact for our climate.
Yeah, I think that's the thing about going into new markets is we scale our impact.
Yeah.
So, for every device purchased, it is a reduction of carbon, water used, as well as removing e-waste from the world.
Yeah.
And I think that scaling that impact is the most exciting bit about launching these new markets.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, very exciting times ahead. I'm very proud of what we've achieved, and at the same time, there's so much more to come. And yeah, thanks, Jonny, for also being with us already since a couple of years. The success was a big part of your impact on the company as well.
So here's to 4 billion, when can we do it? So
Yeah, what's your guess, Jonny?
I never reveal. Not quite yet. We take a bet.
Well, let's see if we make it this year.
Thanks, Peter.
Cool. Thanks, everybody.